looking into.
Now I know that you were butting heads with Healy,
Yes.
Mayor Healy, and Mr. Herman. But did they make any good points during your conversation about maybe why this is, so hard and such a complicated task?
They kind of tried to blame everything. I didn't really discuss too much with Adam Herman, but with Mayor Healy, he kind of tried to blame everything, a lot of it on the firefighters, saying that they weren't willing to negotiate, which, we all know that they were attempting to negotiate, but he was kind of cutting them down every step of the way.
And by firefighters, you mean the union?
Yes, the union.
In the city. Okay.
And then he, said that he was looking into everything that he possibly could, and I said, well, why don't you get rid of your communications director? And then he went on to how hard everyone works around his office.
Similar to the arguments you made at
With
last
Alan
week's city
Schulman
council.
saying, he was trying to dodge that.
Okay.
And like I said at the council meeting, I said, I hate to see anyone lose their jobs, don't get me wrong. But, is the mayor going to come? I have a child that will be born in 3 months. Is the mayor going to come and deliver my baby? I don't think so. Is he going to come put my house out if it's on fire? I don't think so. Is he going to come arrest someone? No.
And just to sort of keep on that same theme, you said you were met with some opposition.
Yes.
Did that extend past the mayor's office, and if so, with whom?
I've had a few people kind of say some things when they're driving past, hollering things out their windows. The occasional person walking in to go to court, says F the police. I did on the repository website, there was a poster who posted something along the lines of approximately around January 15th that I will be out of work because the city, my employer Walmart is going to need a favor from the city, and the city's going to ask for a favor in return, which would be my termination. So I have had some threats as far as that stuff goes, which I'm currently looking into. That I don't really think there's any merit to it, but just in case, I'm kind of looking into it. And just because they gave a date, which I found was kind of odd, a normal person just kind of, spouting off the mouth necessarily wouldn't give an exact date. But I've had that. Nothing too, other than that, nothing too crazy.
So far we've been talking a little bit about social and political deterrence, but today, December 28th, I believe, is it the 28th?
Yes.
December 28th, we've had a snowstorm all night, and
Yes.
it continued through the day. So you've had to battle through the weather too, and this isn't the first time.
No,
Talk a little bit about that.
It's been pretty bad out there. Some of the days. A couple weeks ago, we had the rainstorms. That was kind of a pain. And then obviously today, it's coming down. So it's been pretty cold out there. Quite a few days. It gets a little rough, even though I'm only out there 2 hours each day. It's still a little rough. But it's something I'm willing to withstand and put myself through. Because I said that I would. I said I would be out there no matter what until all the safety personnel was back to work one way or the other. So that's something that I'm willing to sacrifice myself for and put up with. The safety personnel, they all sacrifice themselves and will be willing to sacrifice themselves for me. So that's the little give back that I can for them. So.
Now, we know that this is ultimately up to a restructuring of the general fund and meetings between union representatives and city representatives, and finally coming to an agreement. Okay? But what can the community, and specifically youth if you'd like, but the community in general, people like yourself, what can they do to push this? What can they do to keep this going?
I've been stressing that people get out and, if they have any time, Monday through Friday, 8 to 5, come out, feel free to picket City Hall, feel free to contact your council members, feel free to contact, state representatives. Call the mayor, call the fire departments. Let them know that you show your support. If you can make it out to the council meetings, come and as long as you sign up by 7:15, you can be in the public speaks portion of the meeting. And stress to them that, you are concerned about this and that you support the safety forces and you think that, however they have to work it out, they need to have all their personnel available. So, you can do that. Phone calls, Facebook, all them things, all them media outlets. Even most of that you can even do from home. The city has a website. You can email the mayor. You can do that within 5 minutes of your time at home. So just contact people, let them know how you feel about it. Because if you just sit at home and you're telling your friends and family about it, that's not getting it to the people it's not getting it to the channels that it needs to go to.
Do you think that right now that it's lacking with community interaction?
I would say yes. I know last week there was a pretty good turnout at the council meeting, but I know that on average, they usually only get maybe 10 to 15 people. I know it's, during the week and, everyone's got things going on in the hustle and bustle of society nowadays, but I think that people could get out and a little bit more and show that they care about their community. I know a lot of people do. I'm sure there's tons of people at home that support the safety forces as much as I do, but from their home, no one sees that. So, the people need to get out. They need to make sure they vote. They need to make sure that they're willing to contact, media and their politicians and let people know how you feel.
And at last week's council meeting, there was a pretty heated discussion about the council's role in making decisions about who gets laid off, who doesn't, and where the money goes. And I believe it was between Council President Alan
Yes.
Shulman and Mayor Healy.
Yes.
And the argument was that although council can discuss it and make recommendations, that they don't have final say on it. Given that, do you think to participate in these political processes more, do you think that things like this should be left up to the public? Should we be voting on this as a public?
Ideally, I would think yes. I think that would be great. Do I think that that's going to ever be a possibility? Doubtful. I am going to try to talk with members of council and see if I can get a petition or something, whatever necessary steps I have to take to get something put in to where, as the legislative body for the city, they have more of a checks and balances type system like the federal government has, so that if the mayor in the future would make a rash move and say, hey, I'm throwing this completely out, if they can kind of say, hey, have a vote and kind of overthrow what he says. Because right now, he's the king of the kingdom right now. What he says goes. What he wants goes. He gets the final say on everything. Yes, council approves it, but whether or not they approve it, he can still do what he wants. And that's what Alan Shulman was trying to stress, but it seemed Mayor Healy was just trying to scapegoat it onto council as well, kind of to share the flack that he's catching from it. So.
All right, well, thank you for being with us today.
Yes, thank you very much as well.